Hi, this is Lynn McCool. Welcome to week 7. I want to give you just an overview of this week. We are launching into assignment 4, which has to do with writing instructions. So the readings this week correspond with that, chapter 10 in your Finkelstein text, as well as the screencast, which has to do with how to write instructions. And also your discussion board activity this week is all about revising a set of instructions using a diagramming tool called Lucid Charts, and I'll talk to you more about that in just a minute. Of course, you have Learn Smart like usual, and then your deliverables for this week, which are your topic proposal, the revision of that, which is due Friday, 2/26 at 6 p.m. And then also, team coordinators should email me their team's top 2 choices for proposals for assignment 6, and that email is due no later than Friday at 6 p.m. Let's talk for a minute about the discussion board for this week. It's a little bit different than some of the other things that you've done, but I think that you'll enjoy the challenge of it. So what I've actually done is given you a set of instructions for the game Klondike. So if you click on this, you can download this PDF and read the directions. I think once you read the directions, you'll recognize this game only by a different name, not by Klondike. What I want you to do is I want you to experiment with this Google Drive app called Lucid Charts. And let me take you there here just a second. Lucid Charts is a diagramming app that connects in with your Google Drive, and you can sign up for the free version, and the free version will work just fine for this particular assignment. Okay, I've taken you into my Lucid Chart here just to show you a little bit of how this particular app works, and it's really neat. So you have all these different icons over here that you can just drag and drop, and of course each shape actually represents something, but as long as you're consistent for this particular exercise, just be consistent with the kinds of shapes that you use in having them represent whatever it is you want them to represent, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the Lucid Chart app. I hope you enjoy playing around with that as you complete that discussion board activity. Next, let's talk about assignment 4. So assignment 4 is actually the first full team assignment that you're going to work on together, and this assignment is actually due week 8, so you do have this week and next week to work on it. In this assignment, you should strive to have a minimum of 5 major sections or steps, and that will be more evident to you or clearer to you after you have listened to the screencast on how to write instructions. This assignment is worth 10% of your final grade, and chapters 1, 10, and also 15 would be helpful to you as you're working on this assignment. So while you and your group are getting started on the technical description project, and you're just getting started on it in the sense of we're going to figure out, identify which proposal you're going to be working on. In the meantime, we're going to work on developing instructions, and that's what assignment 4 is all about. And then we'll be testing them for their usability or feasibility in assignment 5. So assignment 4 and 5 are paired together. And not only will you learn 2 additional genres in technical communication, but you'll gain valuable knowledge that will help you create your technical description of a mechanism or a process in that assignment 6. So learning guidelines for developing and incorporating visuals, creating effective document design, and establishing criteria for evaluation of a potential solution to a problem, and evaluating a potential solution based on established criteria. So assignments 4 and 5 are really useful not only in this course, but will be useful to you, I think, in your careers as you move forward. Now, as you know, instructions are the quintessential genre of technical communication because every day we encounter some kind of instructions for carrying out a procedure or a user manual that came with a car or cell phone or food packaging, help screens, you name it, instructions are everywhere. So for this assignment, you will create clear instructions for your college peers. Okay, so here's your audience. for making and launching paper airplanes. You get to choose the design. Your instructions should provide verbal, so written instructions, as well as visual elements. So for example, photographs that will help your audience carry out the procedure efficiently and accurately. And all of your visuals should be original to you. So whether you take photographs or whether you have someone on your team that is a design major and can draw, any image that you use needs to be original, created by you or your team. As you write the instructions, refer to principles discussed in Chapter 10, as well as refer to the screencast in which I go into more detail and give you examples. Refer to Chapter 15 in your textbook as you develop your visual elements for your instruction. And of course, we have already discussed visual design a little bit, so you can review that screencast as well. A brief outline for instructions is provided on page 176, figure 10.1 in the Finkelstein text. Examples and a checklist also follow the outline. So use the checklist to review your work before revising and submitting it. And note that Chapter 10 refers you also to Chapter 5, one of the chapters that we will rely on as we work on our Technical Descriptions Assignment 6. So there are some ancillary chapters that are not assigned as reading per se, but you would want to reference those chapters mentioned in these directions. Okay, so here's a running list of what your instruction should include and should be able to accomplish. Number 1, assess and deliver instructions according to the skill level of the audience. Define the procedure and describe its purpose. Explain any needed theories or principles. Provide an overview of what will happen before telling readers to perform steps. List steps in chronological order. If needed, provide transition between steps. Provide additional information, for example, warnings, cautions, required equipment, and materials. Include visuals that effectively assist readers in understanding the instructions. And finally, employ usable and appealing document design. So this is the overview of Assignment 4. What I would suggest as teams is that you set up a workflow process. Remember, smart teams plan ahead, and so this is going to be your first chance to do some planning ahead here early in the week, and then maybe about midweek you should begin to start to implement that plan as far as working ahead. Also remember that whoever has been designated on your team as editor, please be kind to that person and get the final document to them well in advance of the deadline so that they have time to clean it up and make any last minute proofing for errors, typographical errors, and so forth. Okay, if you have any question about Assignment 4 or anything else that we're doing this week, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks.